New Yorkers throw out nearly 10,000 tons of trash each day. Over the course of a year, that's 3.6 million tons of garbage, the same as 16,000 Statues of Liberty. Despite these staggering numbers, the city is trying to achieve zero waste to landfills by 2030 as part of its One NYC plan. Since the initiative launched in 2015, more organic composting and textile recycling programs have helped divert thousands of tons of waste from landfills. But the biggest impact still comes from the choices we make as individual consumers. And one small group of New Yorkers is doing their part to keep waste out of landfills.
The Fixers Collective is an ongoing social experiment in improvisational fixing and aggressive asset recovery. So we just get together on a regular basis and help people fix their stuff.
The collective started in 2008 as an art exhibition at Proteus Gowanus Gallery, focusing on the theme Mend. The exhibition explored the skills and tools of repair and included a public fix-it workshop in the back of the gallery.
After the exhibition season finished up, people still wanted to fix stuff, so they were meeting on a regular basis, and we've been doing it ever since.
So the first Wednesday of the month, we're here at Brooklyn Commons, and the third Wednesday of the month, we're in Manhattan at Hack Manhattan on 14th Street.
Their drop-in visitors hear about the meetups on social media or by word of mouth and show up with their broken toasters, vacuums, and lamps, once even a theremin.
I brought 2 really cheap lamps. I'm embarrassed to even bring them, but they fixed one already, which is great. I don't like to just throw stuff away. If, like, I have these lamps and I just figured it needed rewiring or something, but I don't know how to do that. Fingers crossed, but it's okay no matter what happens.
Many people come to the Fixers Collective for the same reasons.
I think part of it's saving money, but also there's another part that wants to preserve sentimentality. I mention a lamp very often because in its most simplistic form, it's just a bulb attached to a socket, attached to a cord and a plug. But you put cosmetic things around it, and you have something that'll have sentimental value.
One of the first items Vincent repaired was his parents' television.
It still works to this day. When I fixed it in 2012, and it sits in my parents' kitchen right now. So every time I visit them, they're watching soap operas on a TV that I fixed.
The Fixers come with a variety of skill sets: mechanical engineers, IT specialists, lab technicians, even a retired rabbi. But what brings them together is a love of tinkering.
I call myself a serial repairer, a compulsive serial repairer. You know, I can't help repairing things.
And they try to teach others the joy of fixing, too.
We kind of bring that hands-on learning experience. If you're the one with the broken object, you're very motivated to learn about how to get it done. We want to make it as interactive as possible. So if you're comfortable enough, we'll put you to work. Come on over to learn stuff. It's fun.
Back and forth like that, roll back and forth, roll back and forth. And okay.
I wanted to get this old speaker fixed that hadn't played in years. We figured out there was like something inside that was not connected. Some of the wires weren't fully connected inside. So we just cut it off and rewired the little wire to a new one of these, a new jack.
For Gail, fixing is about something even bigger.
There's so much harm going on in terms of our throwaway lifestyle that we're living, using stuff for a few days, a few weeks, and then getting rid of it. We can recycle a lot of things now, or we think we can, but I think there's more knowledge coming out about how recycling really isn't as good as we all have been told that it is. So a lot of things that we think are getting recycled maybe aren't, and probably end up in the landfill also. The longer we can make something live by fixing it and getting it functional again, I think is really the direction that we need to move, rather than just buying new stuff and replacing it all the time.
I cast a very skeptical eye on Black Friday because I know that I've seen stuff come into these workshops that I have recognized from Black Friday sales. There are TVs that get slashed in price, and I see them come back, and they're not working 3 or 4 years later.
Many electronics require special tools or software, making repairs expensive, so we just replace them. But they're not exactly easy to recycle either.
With electronics, you turn in stuff, you're not sure where it winds up. People are starting to realize that it needs to be treated more like toxic waste.
A new state law could actually make it easier for the fixers to repair electronics. The Digital Fair Repair Act would require manufacturers to provide access to the service information, software, tools, and spare parts to repair their products.
The Fair Repair Act would level the playing field very often and offer a dose of social justice, if you will, because that would give people an option to spend less money to repair their item as opposed to throwing it away and buying something totally new. Everything will eventually wind up in a state of disrepair or disuse. So the question becomes, well, what do we do with it? I think that our repair project would help with the longevity to divert it from the landfill and from recycling altogether. The best way to preserve a sustainable and green lifestyle is to take care of what you already have and to preserve it as long as possible and to make it live and use it as long as possible. My name is Vincent, and I'm a fixer.